Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to the predictions and breakdowns. Today we're taking a look at the final UFC card for the year, and that is UFC Fight Night Royval versus Manel Kape, which is taking place on December the 13th, 2025, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Isn't it actually pretty stacked card? You have a couple UFC debutants, you have a couple heavyweight debutants, you have a couple UFC vets making their way across. You also have Kevin Vallejos, who I'm super excited about. And we're going to get into the entire card, starting off with the early prelims and ending with the main event, and just giving a breakdown and a prediction for each fight on the card. And we're looking at to get our final attempt at a UFC Ruby this year. We're going to go for the 100%. We're going to try and get every single fight right, and I think we can do it this week with this decent card. Now we're going to look at the the first prelim opener, and that is Teresa Belda. Jesus Christ. Teresa Bleda versus Jamie Lynn Horth. These Czech names are absolutely crazy. I can't even look at them properly. We're going to go with Jamie Lynn Horth here. I think Bleda is actually not that bad. She's pretty decent on the feet. She's got decent enough wrestling against the cage as well. The problem I have is that she fought with Gabriela Fernandez, brought her to a decision, and looked kind of half-assed while doing it. Jamie Lynn Horth has some really good wrestling. She has some really good mix-up capabilities, and she actually has fought the better of the opponents. When it comes to both of these ladies, I think Jamie Lynn Horth's going to put a little bit of pressure on Bleda, maybe force her against the cage and just try and work her on the inside. I think Jamie Lynn Horth shouldn't really be an underdog here. She is 35 years of age, but I think she has the better experience. She's fought the better fighters, and she's looking to move into that UFC top 15 where she's trying to make a way for gold. She's not going to get it, I don't think. She's not going to make her way all the way to the flyweight title shot, but she does at least have a chance to make top 10. She does have a chance. But again, this is kind of a nothing fight. It doesn't really matter. It's a bad prelim opener, but it is what it is. Now we have the next prelim fight on the card. That is Alan Fry versus Guilherme Pat. What the fuck? Hold on. Guilherme Pat. Okay, we're just going to go with Kong. We're going to go with Alan Fry to win this fight against Kong. I have a bit of a problem with the fact that AJ doesn't really go distance. He only really fights in the first round. He has had a couple fights go into the second, third round, but he's not really fighting high-level contenders that are going that far. He's kind of just fighting nobodies, and yet they're still getting that far for some reason. The fight against Justin Frazier I really liked. I liked the fact that he was able to put him out that quick. He's actually a guy with some half-decent fights on his roster. And you have Guilherme Pat. I can't believe this is this dude's name. He kind of looks like ass. I'm not going to lie. He fought in Fight Music, went to a decision with a guy who's literally 0-0, had a knockout win in the third round over a guy who's 4-4, and that's just not good enough for me. I'm going to go with Alan Fry to knock him out in the first round, and I think it'll be easy. I don't think he should be an underdog whatsoever, but I guess two heavyweights banging. It is literally a coin flip in the air. Next on the prelims, you have Luana Santos versus Melissa Croden. Now, my first thought is to honestly pick Melissa Croden. I watched tape back, and the Tanera Lisboa knockout, it fucking worried me because she was getting her ass beat up in that first round against Lisboa, and Lisboa was pretty bad. Luana Santos did have a bit of a problem with Casey O'Neill on the feet, and I don't really know if that's going to play a role in this fight with Melissa Croden. I know she tries to force girls into the position that she just wants consistently, and when Santos doesn't really get that happening, she kind of gets frustrated and she kind of looks like shit. The thing is, though, Casey O'Neill being able to beat her up on the feet gives me a lot of confidence with Melissa Croden coming into this fight, because Melissa Croden is one of the very few girls that gets all finishes. I think she has one decision win in her career, and she's looking to just maul girls whatsoever. Let's just double check this. No, she has no decision win. She has all finishes. I think in this fight with Luana Santos, she might be able to put her out. I think when it comes to the stand-up, Luana Santos is at a bit of a disadvantage. I don't think she has that dog in her like Melissa Croden does, and I think Melissa Croden coming off that knockout win of Tanera Lisboa, she gets into the UFC PI. She actually gets the ability to train at a full capacity. I think coming against Luana Santos, she's going to shine, show her brightest stars, and show her brightest abilities with the new gym available. I'm going to go with Melissa Croden to win by knockout or decision. I don't think she's going to end up with Santos on the ground because Luana Santos is so good on the ground. I'm not going to lie, I might switch this pick last second when I just got to see what these girls look like when it comes to fight time. It's really, really tough to pick because Luana Santos really could fall apart here. And Melissa Croden honestly could fall apart too. The fact that she got beat up by Lisboa in the first round, if Santos beats her up in the first round, she'll continue to do it for second and third. So just look out for that. I'm going to go with Melissa Croden though to get it done as an underdog. Now, An easy one, in my opinion, to pick. Sean Sharaf versus Steven Asplund. Now, if you have watched anything that Sean Sharaf has put out, he is fucking terrible. He is a very, very can heavyweight, and Concrete here probably going to put him out very quickly. I think Steven Asplund here, these two guys are going to just bang. They're just going to bang. Like, they're just going to throw hands right away. And I think Steven's going to have a really good shot to just put his ass out. Sean Sharaf literally only goes for knockouts. He has no ground game whatsoever. He has no gas tank whatsoever. He has about a round in him. And if Steven can actually trip him and put him on the ground just for the first round, he will end up getting a second round knockout literally no matter what. Sean Sharaf is one of the worst UFC heavyweights we've ever had. He should not be inside the UFC, and the only reason why he's there is because he took a short notice against Junior Tafa. I'm very glad Junior Tafa knocked him out too, because that was a pisser of a fight. Give me Steven Asplund to knock him out in the first round. It's not even close. Minus 250 favorite should be a minus 500. Sean Sharaf is getting out of the UFC after this fight because he's an absolute bum. Get the fuck out of my face. Now, next on the prelims, we actually have an interesting one in Neil Magny against Yaroslav Amosov. Now, I'm going to go with Neil Magny to win this fight. Yaroslav has only had 5 fights in 5 years. Red flag right off the fucking bat. You also have Yaroslav, who looked like shit against Curtis Millender. Curtis Millender is 21-9. This dude is fucking terrible. Now he's 21-12 after fighting Yaroslav and Valente. And this dude is absolutely fucking terrible. He's one of the worst guys I've ever seen fight in my life. This is one of the guys that used to be in the UFC a long time ago, and he just got out-wrestled to shit by Elizeu Zaleski, and he got out-wrestled to shit by Bilal Muhammad. They kicked him out of the UFC so quick after that, he looked like a bum. Now you have him fighting fucking Yaroslav. Yaroslav chokes him out with an anaconda choke early, and now you have him coming back after that one fight in 2 years, and he's like, oh, yeah, we're good. Now we're just going to fight Neil Magny. Bro, I'm telling you right now, there's a very good chance Neil Magny chokes this motherfucker out. I think Yaroslav's bad. I don't think he should be inside the UFC yet. I think the fact that he was a Bellator champ and they think that that's good enough to make the 170 list at UFC. Bro, have you seen Patchy Mix? Have you seen some of these guys that get brought into the UFC? They look terrible, and Neil Magny is a true gatekeeper. This guy has put away fucking Jake Matthews after losing in the first 2 rounds. Elizeu Zaleski in the second round. He put out fucking Mike Malott in the third round with 30 seconds to go. I'm telling you right now, Amosov is going to get fucked up by Neil Magny in the later rounds of this fight. First round, probably going to go to Amosov. I'm telling you, if Neil Magny survives the first round, live bet Neil Magny. He will probably end up winning this fight. Next on the prelims. So we're going Neil Magny by knockout or decision, by the way. Next on the prelims, Jordan Brito versus Isaac Thomas. Now, this is actually a close fight. I know a lot of people are not picking Isaac Thomas because he's on short notice. 2, he doesn't even have a picture on Tapology. And that's half of the people that fucking predict. They just look at the picture and they're like, oh, he's a bad picture. Other guy. Okay, great. I'm glad you watched tape, and I'm glad you watched anything. He's not that bad. And I'm being honest with that. He's not that bad. He lost to Dorian Ramos a long time ago, and Ramos, honestly, in my opinion, is shit. But again, it's 4 years ago. A lot of things have changed for Isaac Thomas. Isaac Thomas is really not that bad. He looks pretty good on the feet. He looks solid in the mix-up. My problem is he's on short notice with Jordan Brito. And Jordan Brito is a complete fighter. He's on a full camp. He is a high-level UFC caliber fighter. He's put away Jonathan Pierce, put away Weston Wilson, put away Jack Shore with a cut on the shin. He put away Lucas Alexander in the first round. He put away Andre Fili in the first round. And these are a lot of fucking red flags to have when you're Isaac Thomas. If you're Isaac Thomas looking at that list, you're kind of worried because half of those guys fight exactly like you do. And Jack Shore on the feet is very similar to Isaac Thomas in the way he tries to approach it. I'm telling you right now, Jordan Brito is going to beat the fuck out of this kid. Jordan Brito is probably going to put this kid away, and it's going to probably be in the first round. I think Isaac Thomas is good for the UFC. I actually don't think he's that bad at 145. I think the problem comes in the fact that he should not be here yet. Yeah, I think he needs a little bit more time. I think he needs to, actually have a full camp. And they will give him a contract for this as well for stepping in short notice. But I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't look that good, they probably won't give it to him for very long. And Brito is a guy that's like, once he starts putting pressure on you and he figures it out, he will not stop. He will force pressure on you until you wilt. And that's a bad thing for Isaac Thomas. I'm going to go with Jordan Brito, get it done inside distance. I think he's got what it takes to put Isaac Thomas away, or Thompson away, excuse me. And I think if it was under different circumstances, Jesus, I can't even talk. And Isaac Thomas actually got a full camp, I'd be looking at this a little bit more differently. I'd probably be picking Isaac Thomas to cover 3.5 rounds, 3.5 points on the spread. But here, Jordan Brito, I think, is just a little bit too in heat, I would say, in training, and I think he's going to put away Isaac Thompson early. Now, the highlighted prelim of the evening, I'm actually really excited for this one because I think Jillian Robertson can really get a finish here. This is Amanda Lemos versus Jillian the Savage Robertson. I'm going with the Savage. I'm going with Jillian Robertson. She's one of the greatest Canadian prospects we've had in a long time, and it happens to be a woman, which I'm totally okay with. She's in the strawweight division, and she looks absolutely devastating. She's got a couple finishes inside of her UFC career, a lot of submissions. She's got a couple KOs inside the last 2 years, and she's looking to put away Amanda Lemos, which would make a huge statement at strawweight. She'd move up to number 7 or number 6, and with a finish maybe 6 or 5. And I think Jillian Robertson here can definitely get a submission victory over Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos has a bit of a problem on the ground game. Jessica Andrade got her in a standing arm triangle 3 years ago. Weili Zhang got close to a submission as well. Verna Jandiroba got her in an arm bar in a bad situation on the ground. And Jillian Robertson here is actually above, in my opinion, on the ground of Verna Jandiroba. And I think Jillian Robertson can actually end up getting a finish really, really early here. I'm going to go with Jillian Robertson to get it done under 2.5 rounds. I'm going to say Jillian Robertson gets it done by submission. And I'm going to say Jillian Robertson just completely abolishes Amanda Lemos and just mauls her. I don't think I see a world here where Jillian Robertson loses. Amanda Lemos is good on the feet, not good enough to hang with Robertson when it comes to the mix-up, and not good enough when it comes to the ground. Lemos, if she gets put to the ground, will not be able to move, and if she gets close to the cage, Robertson's just going to sit there and just pummel her on the inside. I'm totally okay with that. Robertson will end up winning on the scorecards or inside distance. I'm leaning inside distance. Now, we're going to move on to the main card of the evening. This is the final main card of the UFC pay-per-view era. This is the final main card of 2025. Here we go. King Green versus Lance Gibson Jr. Now, once again, the highlighted prelim of the evening and the first fight on the main card, we're always looking for finishes here, and Jillian Robertson will be getting it, and I'm telling you right now, this fight will end by knockout. I'm going to say most likely in the better of things, I'm going to say Lance Gibson Jr. probably ends up knocking out Bobby Green in the first round. I'm going to say the fact that King Green has been chinny with Rufy, has been chinny with a lot of other guys. I don't think Gibson is better than King Green, though. That's the thing. I think Bobby Green is a lot better than Lance. I think he's got better style. I think he's actually better on the feet, even though he fights with his hands down. I think Bobby Green is actually really good as a gatekeeper. The problem comes that I don't know how chinny he really is going to be. He took a year off almost, but still, I don't think it's enough, seeing as he's gotten chinned twice in 2 years. Pretty bad. And I'm going to say Lance Gibson here probably puts him out in the first round. But I'm actually just going to say under 1.5 rounds is probably what I would pick. I think the fact that King Green is fighting another guy who's a big finisher, these guys are going to go for it, and they're probably going to end it in the first round. I'm going to say under 1.5 rounds hit. So let me just see what the predictions are over here, because I really don't know what they say. It's over under 2.5. I'm going to say, I bet you can probably change it over here, right? If I go Bet365, no, Bet365. Sorry, guys, I just need to check this real quick because I'm a little bit confused. You go Bet365, you can't even bet the line over here, and they have Lance Gibson as only a plus 170. That's a big fucking red flag for me. I'm just going to go with under, I guess, 2.5 rounds if that's what the line is. I'm going to go under 2.5 rounds. I think this fight's going to end inside the first round. Realistically, under 1.5 would probably pay pretty good, but I don't know, man. I'm a little bit confused with King Green at this point in his career. He has mostly finishes, and he's fighting a guy in Lance Gibson, which probably won't get finished. But the only wins he has over the last couple of years has been mostly finishes inside distance. But give me probably Lance Gibson Jr. plus money. Is just too valuable. Next on the main card, Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Marcus Buchecha. And if you're getting the Marcus Buchecha that fought Martin Buday, I'm telling you right now, Kennedy Nzechukwu will put his ass the fuck out. The problem I have is that Walter Walker got Kennedy Nzechukwu so quick that Marcus Buchecha is probably going to force any ground game that he can. On the inside, though, if he walks forward like he has against Martin Buday definitely could have put Marcus Buchecha out, by the way. He 100% could have knocked him out. Kennedy Nzechukwu will put this fucking fat boy out on his ass. It will happen quick, too. He will not fuck around. He is not playing that jiu-jitsu shit. He will have a low base. He will back up, and he will fucking wait for Marcus to step in. He will put his lights out. Kennedy's got almost 7 inches of reach advantage. He will put it to good use on Saturday night, and he will put Marcus Buchecha out. Give me Kennedy Nzechukwu to win via knockout inside distance. He will put Marcus out, and I believe if truly Marcus Buchecha looked like shit, hasn't had the steroids that he was allowed in one. I'm telling you right now, he ain't getting it done against Kennedy Nzechukwu. And I think Kennedy Nzechukwu is fucking garbage, by the way. I don't even think he's good, and I think he still wins. Next on the main card, Morgan Charrière versus Milkwozi Lacoste. I'm going with Milky to win this one via submission, probably. Probably going to come inside the second or third round. Morgan Charrière looks good on the feet, man, but he starts to wilt a little bit inside the second and third round. Milkwozi Lacoste is actually very similar as well. He does wilt later in the fight, but I think when it comes to owning the ground game, I think if Milky gets him down on the ground early, he will conserve his energy quite well, and he will actually just force a submission attempt consistently on top of Morgan Charrière, who's just going to gas out from trying to defend it. He's going to deal with a lot of pressure with Milkwozi Lacoste and that body triangle on his stomach. He's not going to breathe well. He's going to feel like his stomach's going to explode, and he's going to have to deal with the fact that Costa doesn't give two fucks about what's going on the ground. He knows he's going to win the scrambles. He knows he's going to win the better position. He's just waiting for Morgan Charrière to make a mistake. Give me Milkwozi Lacoste to move on at featherweight, continue on at that top 15 status, and keep moving forward after winning 4 in a row and 2 against some pretty good contenders. I think Morgan Charrière is a bit in over his head on this one. I think he's got a bit of a problem when it comes to Costa on the ground, and I think realistically, even on the feet, Costa's going to piece him up and then just mix in the takedowns. It's not going to really matter much what short Charrière and his bullshit kickboxing has to give back to him. He's not going to be there for it. Give me Costa inside. You know what? Give me Costa by submission or decision, just in case that knockout prop is paying somewhat something. Next on the main card, Cesar Almeida versus Cezary Olajaychik. I'm gonna go with. See, I like how I get Olajaychik, but I can't get fucking Teresa Beleda at first. Or what's the other one I was fucking up? Guillermo, I don't fucking know his name. I'm going to go with Olajaychik to win by knockout or decision. I think Cesar Almeida showed inside the Abdul Razak Al Hassan fight that if a guy was a little bit calmer when it comes to the knockout, they'll be able to put away Cesar Almeida. I think Cesare actually showed that against Theo Hag. He didn't just run in and fucking torch the kid. He actually just, I mean, he did, but he also took his time, cracked him a couple times, cracked him again, and then cracked him again, and then put him down. He didn't just rush in and make a firefight. He actually made a controlled fire and slowly moved in. I think Cesar Almeida here makes a. Listen, he's made some good statements. He's a good kickboxer. He's a very, very talented striker. I think Cesare just makes a little bit more of a dangerous striking battle, and I think Abdul Razak showed Almeida can be dropped, and if he gets dropped by Olajaychik, I'm telling you, he ain't getting back up. He's going to sit on the ground and eat those hammer fists to the side of the head till he's out. Give me Cesare to get it done inside distance, actually. I think he gets it done, and he gets it done inside the first round. I think it's a little bit too easy for him, and he's 12 years younger, man. He's going to be faster. He's going to be a little bit more fluid, and he will chin Cesar Almeida. Now, next, the co-main event of the evening. If you guys enjoyed this so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. We have Kevin Vallejos, who's going to absolutely put the rocks on Giga Chikadze. I have no problem picking Kevin Vallejos here. One of the most exciting prospects I think I've ever seen in my life when it comes to the UFC. Kevin Vallejos had gotten gifted a fight by Cam Teague and just got into the UFC with it. He put out Sung Woo Choi. He almost put out Danny Silva twice. And now he moves on to fight Giga Chikadze, where he actually can make a huge statement here with a massive knockout win. Giga Chikadze has been a really, really good striker for a very long time. Very talented. Got into the UFC with his very, very fantastic knockouts that he got overseas. And he also got some really, really good knockouts inside the UFC. And now you have Kevin Vallejos, who's looking to make a statement here. This is going to be striker v. striker. Kevin Vallejos is sitting at a 6-inch disadvantage on reach. He's sitting at a 5-inch height disadvantage. And yet, I'm still pulling for Kevin Vallejos to win. I still think Kevin Vallejos is going to get it done. I still think he can get it done inside distance. And I still think that Kevin Vallejos is going to make Saturday night look easy. I think he's going to make it look like a striking masterclass. I think he's going to use the inside advantage with his boxing to piece up Giga Chikadze. Chikadze has some really nice kicks, but Kevin Vallejos will force into the fire, and he will end up beating up and most likely dropping Giga Chikadze at some point. If he does get dropped, listen, if Giga Chikadze gets dropped by Kevin Vallejos, he will lose all credibility in striking. He will literally feel terrible in himself, and he will probably wilt by himself. His brain will fall apart. If he gets dropped by Kevin Vallejos, a guy who's super small and is just jumping on the inside like fucking Mike Tyson back in the 80s, it's a problem. That's a real problem because he's going to get chinned bad, and if he gets dropped bad and Kevin Vallejos just backs up and lets him get up, he ain't going to be the same. He ain't going to do anything. I'm going to go with Kevin Vallejo to get it done by knockout or decision. I think it's a little bit too easy for him. I think Chikadze is on his way out of the UFC at this point. He can't really fight the high-level contenders anymore. He looked like shit against Arnold Allen, looked like shit against David Onama. Just high-level strikers are kind of giving him a lot of problems right now because they're starting to move more forward than he is. Kevin Vallejo is 13 years younger. He's been watching Giga Chikadze since he was a kid. He's going to win. Give me Vallejos all day. Now we have the final fight of the evening, the final fight of UFC pay-per-view era, the final fight of UFC 2025. It actually is a good one. Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. I actually cannot believe that I'm looking at this right now because I did not even check the odds yet. And the fact that they have Brandon Royval as an underdog, I'm going with Brandon Royval to get it done. That's fucking pathetic. Brandon Royval had a dogfight with Kai Kara France, had a dogfight with Brandon Moreno, had a dogfight with Pantoja, had a dogfight with Tatsuro Taira that he won, had a dogfight with Joshua Van that he lost within the last 15 seconds. And if you put Joshua Van against Manel Kape, who would you pick? You would pick Joshua Van. You would. And he would probably be a favorite in this fight. He probably would be. I'm going with Brandon Royval to get it done. I think he's a lot better than Manel Kape. I think Manel Kape takes too long. I think he's more of an explosive fighter. I think he fights better as a gatekeeper than he does as a top 15 flyweight. I think Brandon Royval has fought the top of the ladder too many times, and I think he's fought the top of the hill more times than Manel Kape has even reached. I think Brandon Royval has fought all of the kings, and Manel Kape has just been giving the leftovers. I'm going to go with Brandon Royval to get it done via knockout or decision. I think he can chin Manel Kape at some point and put him on the ground. I think Brandon Royval's got a lot going for him. He's got a lot of mix-up capability. He's got a lot of really, really good techniques when it comes to the inside distance scrambles where they're trying to, like, you know, if they're in a weird wrestling scramble, he's rolling through. He's not just sitting on it. He's using Kimuras to, like, get on top. He's using butterfly sweeps. He's using double underhooks to roll through. He looks good, man. He looks solid. And I think Brandon Royval is a little bit better everywhere than Manel Kape. It seems that Manel Kape's power is what really, really rides him. But the fact that he takes too long to throw and he doesn't throw multi-shot combinations, he kind of just waits for the power shot to go through. It's kind of a problem. It doesn't work for Brandon Royval. He will just keep putting pressure on you. And Brandon Royval will probably end up winning the first 3 rounds and just letting Manel Kape try to catch up. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. This was the final UFC predictions and breakdowns for the year. And we will be going through the reactions that I've had over the entire year. We'll get some compilations done, and we'll try and see if we can make some decent viewage with that. And I'll see you guys all later. I'll see you guys for the live on Saturday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see if we can get a UFC Ruby for the final card of the year. That's all I got for you guys today. I'll see you guys later. Peace.